Welcome to Engines of Mischief. Congratulations, you are William Rathbone V, a cotton trader. You bring Manchester the raw cotton that is essential to the growing textile industry in the city. This video will explain how you make money and keep track of it each game session and how that impacts your lifestyle and class status. To keep these accounts, you must fill out 2 worksheets each game session. Each profession and social class has different worksheets. First, you fill out a Make Money worksheet for your profession, a cotton broker. Then you must complete a lifestyle worksheet for your social class, the middle classes. You will use new worksheets each session, and if you change professions or social class, you will use different worksheets. Now let's go over how to complete the first worksheet. First, you must include your character's name and the session number at the top of the sheet. Then you figure how much money you've earned this session. At the beginning of the game, you make money from your cotton trading business, primarily by selling raw cotton to the manufacturers of textiles. Your firm does business in Manchester, but it also does so in other new industrial cities. This means that you get a salary from your company for the profits from other parts of the trade. This is 450 shillings. You get this every session no matter what happens. You always fill out this box. In Manchester, you sell raw cotton to merchants who make textiles in hand or factory production. So you have to mark down all the cotton sales you've made that session. For example, you begin with one merchant who makes textiles. Put their name down. Here we have Merchant Thornton. Then you have to figure out how many units of cotton they need and the price for it. This is on a market conditions board the game master will either hand out or display. It says 1 unit of raw cotton is needed per worker. You know that all merchants begin the game with 8 workers, so you will put 8 in this box. The price of raw cotton is 30 shillings. This is the market price. It's the average price of cotton. But you can sell it for more or less depending on whether you want to increase the amount of profit you're making or want to encourage people to buy more cotton. So you would put 30 in that box. And then you total it up to get 240 shillings. You do the same for the other merchants to whom you're selling cotton. For example, Merchant Old Now and Merchant Kennedy. You'll have to make sure to talk to the merchants each session because some of them may need more cotton if they change their business. For example, if they hire more workers or if they open a factories. Factories use much more cotton than hand production. Then you total the amount that you've made from your cotton sales by adding up all of the sales. And in this case, it is 720 shillings. Then you add that with your salary and you get a total income of 1,170 shillings. We're assuming that you haven't spent any money on your business this session, so your total income is 1,170 shillings, which you put at the bottom and you also put at the top. You also have 100 shillings in savings. This is in your roll sheet. So in the first session, you end with 100 shillings in savings and 1,170 shillings in income. The next thing we have to do is see how this affects your lifestyle. And to do this, you have to fill out a Determine Lifestyle and Status worksheet. This explains how you can live based on how much money you earned this session. Be sure again to include your character's name at the top. Don't forget you have an income of 1,170 shillings. You determine this on your Make Money worksheet. This makes you a member of the middle classes. But there are 3 levels within the middle classes, so you have to see which level you belong to. These levels are based on the amount of income earned. So you are not in the lower middle classes because you make more than 449 shillings a week. But you're also not part of the upper middle classes because you don't make a minimum of 1,500 shillings a week. You are in the middle classes. You are one of the people who make between 450 and 1,499 shillings per week. Now let's fill in the boxes for this worksheet. Don't forget that you have an income of over 1,000 shillings and a savings of 100 shillings. So you put them in the income boxes here, 1,170, 100, and you add them together and you get 1,270 shillings. The first thing you have to do is spend some of this money on necessities. To be a member of your social class, the middle classes, you have to spend at least 450 shillings on food, clothing, furniture, and other household items, and rent on the shelter that you live in. You cannot be considered part of this class level if you do not have these necessities. Ideally, you would also like to buy some luxuries. Luxuries are good because they show that you're doing better than other people in your social class. You are a success. This is why they give you status and status points. The pictures on the right are an illustration of how you live and aspire to live. You don't actually have to buy any of the things on the right. It just shows you how someone of your class might live. And it also shows you what sorts of things you could buy if you were going to spend money on luxuries, like more servants, horses and carriages, boarding school for your children, a cook. In your case, you can buy luxuries because after you've spent money on necessities, you still have 820 shillings left over. If you buy luxuries worth 345 shillings, you earn 1 status point. In your case, you can buy twice that amount. You can spend 690 shillings on luxuries and you would get 2 status points, which you would put in the yellow box to the left. You still have 130 shillings left over after spending money on necessities and luxuries. So the next thing you do is add up your status points. You put the status point from above down below. This is a lifestyle status point. You could earn other status points, for example, by giving an excellent speech in town hall. You would add any status points you earned the previous session. We're assuming you didn't earn any in this case. And then you add them up. So you end this session with 3 status points and 139 shillings. The next session, you would put that savings that you had from the previous session in the box at the top. So if you bought luxuries, you would have 130 shillings in savings. However, you have a choice. You don't really need to buy luxuries. You can save all of your money. And if you decide to not buy luxuries and save your money, you would start session 2 with 820 shillings, which would make you quite rich. You should continue to think of ways of making more money. Ultimately, what you would like to do is to make enough money to move up a class level from the middle classes to the upper middle classes. You can do this if you have an income of 1,500 shillings per session. And if you move up, you will gain 5 status points. In an ideal world, you would like to even move further up and move out of the middle classes into the upper classes with the aristocracy. And if you did that, you would need 4,000 shillings in income, but you would gain 10 status points. So think carefully about how to improve your income and lifestyle. If you end the game raising your status, then you've proven that you've adjusted well to the new industrial economy and you may win the game. Good luck.